Namaste, good day to all my students. In this video, I will explain about Module 5 in Internet of Things technology. In Module 5, mainly we having three topics. One topic is Arduino Uno. That means from here to here, these all the topics are related to Arduino board. It is one of the IoT device. How to connect with Arduino board and how to give the supply, which are the ports numbers are there, uh, digital port is there or analog port is there, how to give the power supply, this everything we have to study. And in other thing is how to install the software Arduino. That are the main things it is here. And one new thing here it is programming is there. Compared with the previous 4 modules, here little bit programming is there in Arduino board. Next topic is the second topic up to here is there, that is related to Raspberry Pi board. This is also one of the IoT device only, Raspberry Pi, and that Raspberry Pi also same way, how many ports are there, how many analog, how many digital, and can we connect some external devices to the Raspberry Pi, how to give the power, and how many ground are there, what is the diagrams we have to study, pin diagrams. These are the things and some sort of programming. Last time in the university question, they asked one question from Raspberry Pi. That question is DS18B20 sensor, one program it is asked, it's a temperature sensor. And the last part is applications of Internet of Things, this much. These are the main things in the 5th module. Compare with all the modules, the 5th module, the textbook is different. That is Srinivasa KG. In all the other modules, we studied the topics from David Haynes. Right. Now we will go to the first topic. It is Arduino board. Introduction to Arduino. Last year, they asked one question, give a brief note on Arduino Uno. Right. There it is, first of all you can say it is a development board. We can do the programming on Arduino board with a simple programming. If you want to go with the more complex programming and all, we can go with Raspberry Pi, because here the limitation is memory is very less compared with the Arduino, compared with Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi, in Raspberry Pi the memory is more, but in Arduino the memory is less. And here also we are using some microcontroller, some processor for processing the things. If you want to do the things in Arduino, you have to download one integrated improvement or integrated development and environment. You have to download IDE. You have to download from the internet, and we can do the programming. It is a small computer. It's a small computer only, that board. I will show you that board now. This is the board. It will work like a small computer, right? These are the main things, and there are some digital pins, some analog pins, and serial peripheral interfaces we have to connect with the external devices, SPI, and pulse width modulations pins are there. PWM pins are used for giving the desired analog output. They are used to set the LED brightness. That pins are used for connect with the LED. Using the LED, what mainly we can do is LED we can blink, we can switch off, again we can switch on based upon the conditions, right? And the number of analog pins and we can use the analog pins is 3, 5, 6, 9, 11. These all are PWM pins. And one more thing, we can connect the stepper motor with the Arduino board. Stepper motor means if some conditions, for example, we can use in the agriculture field. If the field is dry, with the help of the stepper motor, we can pump the water. So that many applications we can do it. But still I can say that the number of applications what we can do in the Arduino board is less compared with the Raspberry Pi, due to the One of the main thing is the memory constraint. And the next is serial peripheral interface. Already I told we can connect with small peripheral devices, SD card, etc. Some devices we can connect. It is easy to use and it is inexpensive compared with the Raspberry Pi. It is inexpensive. We do not want to pay a lot. This is a different chips we are using here in Arduino board. Arduino Mega is a big sister. That is the family. First 10 years back, Arduino was released. 100 of Arduino boards are there. Because we are discussing about Arduino, different types of Arduino boards are there. But all these examples or all the programs are explaining based upon Arduino, all right? This is a board. It is showing how much voltage we have to give input as 5 volt and 0 volt is a low, and how many digital pins are there. 0 to 13 digital pins are there. Our microcontroller is 80 mega 328. P is the microcontroller which is using in the these are the things we have to highlight for the previous year question. And PWM pins, which are the pins are there. Pin number you should know. These pins numbers you should know. These are the power pin and these are the analog pin. And this is the microcontroller. It's nothing but the processor. And this is the jack. This is a power jack to connect the power. And TX and RX, this is for receiving and transmitting. And some LED is there, and LED have to be connected with the pin number 13. Here pin numbers are there. That particular pin number only we have to connect. And the power pins, reset button, different buttons are there. And what is the use of each button you should know. And USB you can connect here. USB jack is here. If you want to connect your mouse, or if you want to connect your keyboard, you can connect it with here. You can just have to connect. And these are the main things you have to be highlighted. And it is very difficult to draw as it is, and you can draw a square box and you can show different things in that one. Then you have to be explained, right? Next one, how to install it. It's very simple. We can download that particular Arduino software, integrated development environment software, and we can put it in our laptop or desktop and we can work it out. Once you are opening that one, these are the things you can see. There are two functions you can see. One is setup function and one is loop. We already setup function, you can do some declaration and pin, which are the pins you are using. First you have to declare this pin is using, and based upon the standards it is already given, that based upon that one only you can use the pin. And the loop, what is loop? For example, for each 1 second some LED have to be glow. That means that particular program I have to write in a loop, because first second one LED, second other LED. If I want to glow, it have to put in a loop. That concepts I can do it here, right? And while we are setting in that particular software, we have to specify that which board we are using, because there are a lot of different boards are there. Here you can give the selection here, which board you can go select here. Arduino is the board you have to select here, right? And you have to give the port number also, and which port number it is connected. If you are going to the port, it will automatically it is going to display which port number, right? These are the basic things for doing the programming. And most of the people maybe they are not going to directly connect these devices or the sensors into the board, Arduino board. For that one they may use breadboards. You can having a small idea about the breadboard. In the topmost part, all the columns are not connected. Holes between the column are not connected here, but the rows are connected. But here you see holes along the rows are not connected. Here the rows are not connected. Here the columns are not connected. Here the rows are not connected, because we have to put our devices into this one. And if you are not, based upon the rule only, you can keep the particular devices. If you are simply going to keep the devices, it is not going to communicate. We having different diagrams so that you will understand clearly. And A shortcut method or a short way in a table, they are explaining what are the things are there, which processor is using, which voltage it is using, maximum voltage level, what it can use, how many analog pins are there, how many digital pins are there. That is just explaining of the Arduino board. And this is a program, it is given some simple programs. Already I told setup, we can write some statement. Loop also we can write some statement. In the setup, I already told which are the pins we are using. That one we are going to declare. Pin number, pin mode, pin. This one we can give some pin number. For example, 10, comma input. That means 10 pin number is used as the input. That is the meaning here. That declaration we can do in the setup space. Already I told there are two parts are there, setup part and loop part. In the setup part, we have to declare. In the loop part, we can write the real code for what the board have to do. And the loop part, it is saying here, pin number is high. For example, I am giving as pin number 10. Just to think that it is pin number 10. It is high means that pin number 10, it is maybe connected with some LED. Then it is going to glow. That's it. That is why digital write. And it have to be delay. We have given some delay here, 10,000 millisecond delay we are going to give. That means what it is this is very fast. First it is glowing, now have to be off for some time, again have to glow. That is my aim. Do not have to glow continuously. First have to glow, have to switch off some time, again have to glow. That's why switch off means we have to give the delay here. That is why 10,000 millisecond delay is given. Then you can see here pin number low. Low means it is going to off. Up to that particular delay, it's going to on. After that, it is going to off. Again, delay is given as 1000. Right? If you are not going to get giving the delay, that difference we cannot able to identify. Switch on, switch off. Like that, different programs are there. Please go through that particular programs and how to declare what are the different data types are there. Arrays is, yes, arrays it's possible we can use. Float is there, long is there, int is there, byte is there. Just have to understand about how many data types are there, how to declare the variables. That are the things. We can give the comments, and comments you can write the things. Now arithmetical operations, what we studied in the C or Java or different programming language like Python, all the things are there. Assignment operators are there, logical operators are there. We can check or condition, and condition, not equal to this, everything. And we having a Boolean operator is there, true or false operator. And pin mode high, low, we can set it is 0, 5. Based upon that value, we can go into set it. If input is high, we can do something. This is our flow control. It is nothing but looping control and conditional statement. If else is there, if is there, for loop is there, while is there, do while is there. These all the things you already know. Because if you want to do something repeating again, we can do some conditions like our for loop, same for loop, and we can write write high into 13, pin number 13. We can write high means it may be glowing to. It is connected with some LED means it may be going to glow. If it is given as that same pin number low means it is going to switch off, and the delay it is going to give us 250 second. That is nothing but 1/4 second, right? And different digital and pins are there. The explanation of that one, and what are the analog pins, that explanation, some small program related to that one. And next is the difference between analog, digital, and PWM pins. This particular diagram is given. Analog pins means it is the values will be changing from 0 to 5, right? 0 to 5. But digital means if it is off means 0, if it is on means 5. And PWM pin also, it also having 0 to 5 only. One is 0 value, next is 5 value, but in between it's not be exactly like digital. Some sort of changes can come. That is the difference. And next one is why? Because these all the values we are required to read the data from the sensors. For example, see here, analog pins 0 and 1023. the values will come. And 1023, what it is showing is, in a light sensor case, it is dark. The value 1023 is dark, and 0 it is showing is bright. 0 it is showing bright, and 1023, if you are from a sensor, light sensor, you are getting some values. I connected a light sensor with the Arduino board, and it will give the values. It may give the values in between from 0 to 1023. That only maximum values it can give. 0 to 1023. If you are getting as 1023, the meaning here it is that particular area is dark. If you are getting the value as 0, that particular area where that board it is connected, it is bright. That is the difference here. Next thing is low value it is showing as sometimes 0, and high value may be showing as 1 in some cases. High means 1 it will show, and low means 0. Some other cases, low means 0, high means 5. It is dependent, right? Next is Raspberry Pi. Here in the Raspberry Pi also, first you have to study the board. Raspberry Pi, and which country it is, came from the United Kingdom, and some history from Pi 1, Pi 2, like that different boards are there. That history you have to study. And this is the thing which is explaining different models. First model A plus, B, B plus, B, model 3, and which are the chips it was used. It's a comparison it is given for the Raspberry Pi. Next, very important thing is you should study this pin diagram. There are different pins, 1 to 40 pins are there. And what is the use of pin number? Each pin, power pin, it is connected to 1. If you want to connect the power, you can only connect to 1 pin. It is the power you have to give as also 3 volt using the adapter. And again 5 volt you can connect to the pin number 2, and 4 volt for the pin number 4 you can connect the 5 volt. And different grounds are there. This black color it is showing as ground. This pin number, what is the use? Clearly you have to mention that one only. General purpose input 0 to 4. Different pins are there. Pin number 25, 8, 7. This why? Because it's a general purpose. I can use any pin number for my programming. If I want to use 3 pin number, I can use 3. If I want to use 5, I can use 5. Based upon the application, I have to use. That is why this pin number and what are the pins are there, clearly you should know. 39 means ground means ground. You have to draw if they are asking for the examination. This question also came in the previous year question. With a neat diagram, explain the Raspberry Pi board. There you can explain this one, as well as you can show one Raspberry Pi board also, right? What are the things are there in the Raspberry Pi? 40 GPIO headers, 40 pin is there. That is why 1 to 40 pin. That one you can explain. And SD card where it is going to connect. If you want to connect some DSI display, some LED or some external display, if you want to connect, you can connect it here. And 5 volt USB power you can connect here, and so on. Camera, if you want, you can keep it the camera here. This board you have to explain what are the things are there in that particular board, and what is the processor is using, what is the megahertz of the processor, and different processor it is explaining. Pi 2, what is the processor it is using? It is using the ARM processor. And what is the power source? How much voltage I have to give? How we can connect the SD card or not? And what about the GPIO pin, general purpose input output? We can take input, we can give the input as well as output. We can take it with the help of this particular pins, and we can connect the different devices for showing the display output devices. You can connect the audio, and we having some LEDs are there. LED for showing the status. Ethernet port we can connect, and HDMI, high definition multimedia interfaces. And these are all the knowledge you should know. While explaining, you should draw this diagram, and you can write this pin number and you can explain it, right? Different operating systems, because previously we do not have any operating systems. We have to download that. In the case of Arduino, we have to download that IDE and we have to use. But in the case of Raspberry Pi, there are some different operating systems are there. One is non-Linux based operating system, RISC OS Pi or FreeFFD, NetBSD, and Linux based operating system. Some different Linux based Kali Linux. These are the operating system we can put into the Raspberry Pi, and some of the Raspberry Pi itself, they having some more their own operating system, Raspbian, like that. These are the things. And for audio related operating system, if you want to get more clarity about the audio, it's related some operating systems also they done. These are the operating system related to that one. And how to install this Raspberry Pi, this Opera OS, how to install, that is a method it is explained. There are different methods are there to install. One method they are explaining here, to download a zip file and you can put it and you can burn it. That is a thing here it is explaining. And there are some username is there and password is there automatically. It is a default one. Username is Pi and the password is Raspberry. Once you are install that one, you have to log in and it will come like this. And general commands for the Raspberry Pi, to because we will get a command prompt. That command prompt, what are the things we can do it, that only it is explaining. If you want to see the current date, you can type as date. If you want to reboot that particular Raspberry Pi, you have to type as Raspberry reboot. And if you want to shut down, you have to type shutdown. And how to create the directory, these all the things it is explaining here. And we can use these are the things which is related to the network related things. These are creating the file related things, and these are the general network related things. Is we can use the ping command because the opposite side device is active or not, like that. And programming, and this programming also somewhat related, like somewhat similar like our C program. Those who knows the minimum C programming knowledge, easily you can understand these all the things. And some more extra commands it is explaining here. If condition, if condition is this one, you have to print something. These are very simple programs. Initially it is explained, but the previous year what the question was asked is based upon the temperature sensor only, that we will see that particular program. Before going to explain that program, I will these all are the different programs. Some programs it is saying that if condition is given, buzzer have to be get sound, like that. Some different programs are there. This is the temperature sensor. Last time it was asked DS18B20. It is just a temperature sensor, and it's a technical name. It's a DS18B20, and it having three leads are there, or three pins are there: ground, data, and VCC. These are the third part. I will go and explain that particular program now. It is a temperature sensor. This is the Raspberry Pi board, and we can connect directly or we can connect using breadboard. This is the temperature sensor. Three leads are there already. Just now we saw, and it is connected with that breadboard. The three pins are connected with the breadboard, and it is connected across with an register. And we can take the input or output, and we should have some port. It have to be connected with the help of the cables. We can connect it here, right? And this is a basic program. Initial setup we have to do to take the data and all, and where have to be store the data. Everything we have to say here, and we have to take the raw data here, and the data it is going to get as in the string way. That particular data we have to convert into float way. And if you want to convert into Fahrenheit, you can convert into Fahrenheit, and you can give to some port to display the values. And this is the program it was asked, and you can draw some diagram like this, and you can explain this particular program. You can write and explain that particular program. That about this Raspberry Pi and Arduino board. And one more part is there. The last part, it is an application of the IoT devices. Okay. Thank you very much to all my students.